When everybody needs you, who takes care of the reliable one? Let me know in the comments. Are you the person everybody calls when something goes wrong? Because tonight we're talking about what happens when being the reliable person stops feeling like a compliment and starts feeling like an unpaid position. Part 1, how we become the fixer. Ultimately, you become the fixer because you are praised for your maturity and your sense of responsibility, as well as never letting people down and always doing things that you don't want to do so that you don't cause conflict or drama. You become good at anticipating needs. When someone is sick, you bring soup. When someone is sad, you're on the phone with them trying to talk them down and make them feel better. Feeling useful when somebody needs you is another thing. It's a people-pleasing mechanism that makes you the fixer. And they know that you're not going to let go of that role because you feel obligated to it. Additionally, if you tend to be a competent, conscientious person, that is going to create more responsibility, which is going to make you likely go to the top of the fixer list. So ask yourself, were you the responsible one growing up? If so, then you probably are the fixer. Being needed versus being loved. Being needed can feel a lot like being loved. Ultimately, dependable people can become uncomfortable when nobody needs anything from them because they are doers, they are caretakers, they are people who understand what people need innately. They are empathetic people, they're compassionate people. They don't have a problem helping people until people cross the line or until it goes too far or until that person is exhibiting signs that they are taking them for granted or are potentially being overrun with other people's responsibilities before they can even take care of their own. Do you feel guilty doing something for yourself when nobody else needs something? I tend to sometimes feel bad for doing things for myself that I need to do, and for saying no. No is a big thing. I think a lot of us who are fixers and who are used to helping other people tend to have those issues. Let's talk about helping versus rescuing. Helping is when someone genuinely needs your assistance. They have a flat tire, so they need someone to take them to the mechanic to be able to address their tire, right? Rescuing is someone could manage the responsibility, doesn't, and you repeatedly absorb the consequences. That is probably the most difficult one. It's almost like learned helplessness. You know what you need to do. You're an adult. You should get it done, right? And so this is important. This isn't about refusing to help people. I like helping people. It's about recognizing when helping has quietly turned into taking responsibility for another capable adult, right? Part 4, their emergency. Someone else's lack of planning does not automatically create an emergency for you. It creates an emergency for the person who is enduring the emergency, right? And ultimately, let's say somebody is suffering from like low blood sugar or something of that sort. That would definitely be an exception because that person is clearly having a medical emergency in which they need help, right? Sometimes people genuinely get blindsided. They don't realize that, they've forgotten to do certain things or they've forgotten to pay certain bills or they missed, they forgot what the date was and so they weren't able to get to work, any number of things, right? And sometimes emergencies are real, right? And compassion still matters. Compassion always matters. So if you have to say to someone, you know what, I'm sorry, I can't do that, at least do it in a compassionate, kind way. And let them know, you know what, I've got a lot going on too. I'd love to help you, but at this time I just can't. It's nothing personal. This isn't me being nasty. This doesn't mean that I'll never help you again. But at the same time, I have things that are pressing on my schedule that I have to take care of, right? But repeated preventable emergencies are patterns that they are overly relying on you, are patterns that they expect you to drop things for them, are patterns that they are not being fully cognizant of their time and using their time and their ability to do things for themselves effectively. Why boundaries feel mean? Ultimately, you can feel guilt for saying no. And I feel guilt sometimes for saying no. And I tend to end up doing it even whether I want to sometimes or not. A boundary can feel uncomfortable and still be healthy. Remember that. Um, so, what's harder for you, saying no or dealing with the guilt afterwards? For me, I would have to say both, right? Your life counts. Ultimately, your time doesn't become less valuable because the thing you wanted to do with it only mattered to you. It is your life. People are allowed to live their life as they wish, as are you, right? Just because you want to do something for yourself doesn't make you selfish. That's why self-care is such an important concept and such an important thing. Maybe you have dreams that you're working towards. Maybe you have hobbies. For instance, my hobby currently is podcasting and content creation and things like that, and doing some UGC. As well, you're always going to need rest, and you're always going to need some time to be creative and enjoy your life. Spend time with your family, spend time with your kids, spend time with everybody that you want to spend time with. So in closing, I don't want you to leave here thinking you need to stop being generous. That is not the point. I want you to leave remembering that generosity shouldn't require your disappearance. It shouldn't place a heavy burden on you to choose between what you want versus what somebody else is asking you to do. You can love people deeply. You can show up, you can help, and you are still allowed to want something for yourself, as it is your life. Thank you for tuning in to Recovering Perfectionist Mama, Grace in Progress. My name is Buffy. If you got value from this, please consider liking and subscribing and checking out Recovering Perfectionist Mama, Grace in Progress. And hopefully I get to see you again soon. And if you got value from this, please consider liking and subscribing and checking out Recovering Perfectionist Mama. Hope to see you again soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.